What's up, guys? Monday morning. Made a little trip to laser cutting and picked up the new fuel cell for Grubbworm. That's what we're going to get started on first thing this morning. Is get this thing welded up, mocked up in the car, and we're going to get it to our powder coater to have it Teflon coated inside and out, and that way we can have it done this week along with everything else. So I've got it taped together right now, just to make sure everything's going to work out right before I start welding it together. And I'll take it over to the car and kind of show you what it's going to look like. So let me just show you this. This is the original fuel cell, 3 gallons. And this is the new one. You can see we got a lot more capacity. Almost 1.5 gallons more. This one's actually a little bit more narrow this way because we've got it where it goes inside the original loop. I'll show you here. You can see how it kind of looks up in there. See if I can get the camera around here where you can see. See, it goes right inside the loop. So just confirming fitment, and I think we're good to go. So we're gonna get the camera set up and we're gonna weld this thing together. And this will start out our week of hopefully finishing everything under the hood this week. It's going to be a lot going on, and I'm going to try to film a lot of it, so here we go. Okay, what I did here is what I do when I mock up any fuel cell. I pretty much get it in position where I want it. And in this case, I used a screw jack and that little stand right there. I got the fuel cell level and positioned where I wanted it. Then fortunately I was able to still use the 2 mounting tabs that were originally here for the other one. I just shortened the weld bung where I could get it slid over enough, and I put bolts in it and I welded the bottom side to the tank while it was in position. Then I come over here and I had to add a 3/4 piece of moly here to extend the mounting points out off of the protection loop here. And I closed the end of that in, notched this side, and used a magnet here to hold the tube in place. Welded the top side to where the tube would be on there. Then I just these are 3/8 threaded bungs because I wanted the tabs that I had were for 3/8, so I just used 3/8 bungs. But I put the tabs on the bungs with the bolts, held them up there with my finger, and tacked them in place. And then I come around here and put some heavy, maybe 1/2 inch or something, welds or inch on the tank where the bungs would be held in place. And now I'm gonna take this off, take the other ones off, and take it over on the bench and finish welding. I just noticed that I put my finger over the microphone a lot on this thing, so I'll try to pay attention to that. Anyway, get it over on the bench and weld everything completely around, wipe it down, and then we're going to take it to powder coating to get Teflon coated here in a minute whenever we go to lunch. But whenever I take the tank off, I'll finish welding this tube all the way around where I can't reach it right now. But pretty quick mock-up. It's in the same position as the other one as far as height and the lid position and everything. The lines will hook right back up. Nothing else has to be changed. So that was a pretty quick process. I'm glad it went smooth. Joey did well on the design on this, getting it to where it would go inside that loop in the front. So let's finish welding it up and get it off to powder coating. So we dropped the tank off by powder coating when we went to lunch, and had a lot of orders back up this afternoon. A lot of roll cages went out today. So it's pretty much what we've been doing all afternoon, and it's the end of the day now, and I'm back on the header flanges. Let me show you what I'm dealing with here. I might have already said something about it in one of my previous videos, but here I can actually show you. So these bolts are supposed to lay flat because you're going to have a gasket going across here. This one is flat. You see this one is not. How is a gasket supposed to seal across that? It's not going to. So what I'm having to do is just using some air tool oil because I'm too lazy to find the cutting oil. And I've got the countersink here, and I am opening up these holes a little bit bigger where it will go more flush. And I'm having to do that for every single one of them until I get them where this one is right here, where there's no bump when you go across it. So that's where we're at now, trying to get these ready where we can go first thing in the morning and just fly into this header fab, because we really need to get rolling on that if we're going to make some headway this week. So let's finish up this flange. Well, I think I've got all of them the way they should be. The other one's already on the car, but you can see the bolts are nice and flat now. So the gasket isn't going to have to really mash into shape over top of them. And some of these heads are starting to booger up a little bit. I've taken them in and out, you know, half a dozen times already. Remember, I've got some fresh bolts to go in it, or to give to Jonathan that he can put on there when he puts it on the head for the final time. I think what he's going to do is use some copper RTV and just basically glue these things to the head. Since they are so big, I think that'll be the best solution to seal them up and not space them off the head too far. Because I sent him a message a while ago. I said, I need to know the thickness of your gaskets you're going to use, or what gaskets you're going to use, because you start stacking a gasket under this and then a gasket on top of this, you're talking 100 thousandths or more of space that it's going to push it apart with the gaskets versus what it is now. And that could mean a fitment issue for the rest of the turbo system on down the line, because 100 thousandths here might be, you know, way off down the line as far as it how it moves it out the further it goes out. So we don't want that to happen. So I think with RTV we won't have to worry about it, because that's not gonna space it off really any, but just, you you know, just that little bit. So tomorrow we'll come in, we'll start running some tubes, hopefully. I'm gonna get these things bolted up to the head for good, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. So see you then.